All right, y'all.
We're back.
We're back. We're Black and White Randoms Podcast. I'm T, aka Sky. This is
Trish.
alrighty. This is pretty much, podcast where we talk about random things.
Yep.
Um, world events, popular topics, viral things, like
Whatever her brain comes up with
pretty
for the
much.
day.
You just never know. Um, sometimes it's just life. Because life, what? Be life in. Anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, like, comment,
Share.
subscribe.
Come back and see us.
Make sure you guys hit that notification bell.
Yep.
And if you're on one of the other platforms, hit that follow button for us, please.
Yep.
Some of those you can comment on as
Sorry,
well.
I'm pretty sure that's the cat.
Yeah, I was like, what? Anyway,
She's a stalker.
she is. She hates to hear us having fun. Anywho,
She's
so first topic. What are some red flags that you would name in any relationship that you could say, I noticed them and I ignored them? I'm just saying.
Like in general, I think someone who is too full of themselves and not enough about the two. So you don't have to be obsessed with you or obsessed with him. It's a two person thing. Someone who doesn't want to let you have any time to yourself.
Okay, I can go with that.
Clingy. And I'll say one more. Someone who is mean when they're angry. That's the big one.
I mean, maturity is
Yeah, you could be mad, but we don't have to be mean. That's a huge difference.
I mean, I feel like for a lot of people, when they're mad, the attitude comes behind it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, learn how to exit. Like when you get too hot, because like arguments gonna happen. Sorry about it. They're gonna happen at a point. I feel like decent red flags.
Yeah.
I feel like if you catch someone in multiple lies, like even down to like the little stupid white lies, because like there's some dudes that's like, well, I had to lie to make her, to make sure that everything stayed kosher, and I'm like, did you really though? Because assuming that she was gonna get hot, irritated, and mad about an issue, because that's why you lied in the first place,
right?
Because it's one of those things, like even down to the, hey, does this dress look good? Like that comment.
We know what the answer
and
is.
the thing is, I don't think we necessarily know what the answer is. We honestly want to know what he thinks is what it is. Like, if you think this dress looks terrible, then I'm taking it the hell off.
Right.
Don't care how confident I felt in it at first, or in fact, if I asked the question, I wasn't feeling confident in it, and I was trying to see like where you were leaning towards it, because sometimes I could be wrong. I might be having one of those days where I feel like I might be bloated or something. Who knows? I feel like that, like at that point, like just stop telling the little white lies on relationships. Like it's if you really love someone, honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Other red flags in relationships. Let's see. I feel like somebody that doesn't carry their weight inside of a relationship. Like, I get, like, to some people there's the gender role things.
Right.
There's, and don't get me wrong, sometimes the feminine and masculine energy is gonna flip flop in a relationship. Now, you got to be able to roll with the punches too, because it's like, if you're not malleable and you're just stuck one way, that's not gonna make for a great relationship. Like, you got to figure it out. You got to be bendable at a point.
Yeah, and the distribution of whatever the weight is that you carry, it could be jobs, it could be paying bills, it could be household stuff, is different for every couple. It's different for every set of people. So we don't say necessarily you're literally doing half and half. If you hate cleaning the bathroom and that's the only thing that you want him to do or her to do, you got the rest, that's cool. It just depends on what the two of you personally decide is even.
Yeah, I feel like if you're blatantly like disrespectful inside of your relationship too, like you're just attacking that person, and it can be for multiple things: physicality, it could be for a specific type of way they think. Like sometimes you just gotta talk through things, because a lot of times what happens is like the person will be sitting there with things that might be bothering them, and instead of like coming to you with it, they'll sit on it for a while. And then by the time a while goes by, now it's turned into something else.
Oh yeah.
They start becoming reactionary to whatever habit it might be, quickly reactionary at that. And then like you sitting up there trying to figure out why the hell like this one thing is ticking them off so bad. So I don't know. I would just say that communication, that's actually communication for real. Oh. So like communication, honesty, best policies, especially as you get older and mature. Anywho. Your opinion on crazy exes.
My first question is, why are you calling them crazy? Because what you call crazy and what is actually technically defined crazy may be different things, but like normally there's a reason you're using that term, and whatever your reason is, I hope that y'all figure that out and they leave you alone, because normally the people only say that if someone won't leave them alone. I feel like.
I mean, to a certain extent, it depends. But my thing is, usually when it's used and you're moving on to the next person, that's what we're going to say. Right. And some kind of way in the conversation, an ex might come up or something about them and you call them crazy. That's a red flag. By the way, speaking of red flags, that is also another one. People that call their exes crazy never see the wrong that they did in the relationship, or if they did, they ignored it, which is even worse.
Or harsh reality, the one common denominator in all of your exes is you. Maybe you're the one who's the problem. So some people just don't want to confront that either. They don't want to acknowledge that they may be part of the reason why things don't work.
But also, like, at the end of the day, you selected this person.
Right.
After you saw all of the red flags. There you go. So it speaks more to who you are than who they are.
Yeah.
Essentially. Okay. Opinions on. So I'll put it this way. I was listening to like some random podcast the other day, and they brought up a valid point.
Okay.
Well, one of them had a valid point. I felt like the other one was just trying to defend himself. Okay. So it was a female who started dating this guy's best friend. I'm gonna give you the context background. And she was a guest on the podcast because she just recently started dating a friend who's also on the podcast. Okay. So her boyfriend and his best friend pretty much brought up the conversation of like, how do you feel about cheaters? Can they change? Do they ever change? And the girlfriend's perspective was, I feel like for the most part, once a cheater, always a cheater. Like that's usually how this goes. She was like, it's rare that they literally turn over a new leaf. And if it is, it's because they want to, for whomever it is. So the crazy part is he didn't even realize he proved her point because he tried to argue the other way. Because she was like, to be honest, I feel like it's she was like, I feel like that's something innately within you, that you're not confident within yourself, that you got to keep going out there and cheating because your self-esteem is low, you have low self-worth, and you keep going out there and cheating. It's a repeated habit. He pretty much was along the lines of, nah, I don't think it's that. I think it's immaturity. And I think that's all that cheating is to men, is us being immature. And he was like, prime example, like I'll be out and he was like, and this is back when whatever, as if he wasn't currently in a like whatever situation he's in. But he had went back to like, she was like, okay, so when have you cheated in your relationships? He was like, a couple of them I've cheated, and she was like, okay, so which one didn't you? And he was like, oh, I had this girlfriend. We were in a relationship for like 2 years. I didn't like cheat on her or anything. But pretty much every girl that came after her, he cheated on, right?
Okay.
So, which here's the habit, like you're starting a pattern, right? And he was like, yeah, it's just immaturity. He was like, because imagine it's like you go out, you chill with your homeboys, you out, and then his thing is Latino women, because that's all he kept referencing, which we know you clearly have a type.
You have a type.
Whatever. Okay. So, all right, cool. You go out, the Latin, he was like, and then this fine one come through, she looked like X one, whatever she looked like, right?
Okay.
And he was like, your girl at home, you sitting there fighting demons. He was like, you gonna make one or two decisions. You either gonna be like, nah, I got somebody at home, or you gonna sit there and be like, you know what? Maybe I'll give her a dance or two. Might sit around for a drink. He was like, and then usually, you know, if you stay that long, you probably gonna make a bad decision. Right. He's like, and that's usually what happens. He was like, because a stand-up guy would literally go, I got somebody at home. They're mature enough, they're man. Now that is partly correct. Mm-hmm. However, this is where he started going down P Street the wrong way. His thing was he didn't really believe that because he, you know, he was like, I just believe that most men, when they make those decisions, are immature. She was like, not men, boys. She's like, yes, absolutely, I get it. That's like she was like, but check this out. You just told me that every woman after that one girl that you supposedly never cheated on, you make a conscious decision to cheat on. Mm-hmm. You're making a conscious decision to do that.
Oh yeah.
For multitudes of reasons.
Right.
And it's not just because it looked good.
Right. Yeah, it's not just because she looks good.
No. Part of the problem is conquest. In your mind, you wanted a conquest. It was just stupid. Because once again, yeah, he proved her correct because mm-hmm. it is something that you can't break. Because and you never stated that you haven't done such. You were still actively cheating on women that you end up with. So once again, you're proving the point that all cheaters pretty much consistently still have that in them. Because he was like, yeah, men be fighting demons out here. And it's always funny to me because I'm like, if y'all knew this shit that women got offered on a regular basis, like we could make the same decisions all the time because there's always somebody out there better than you. Believe it. In all aspects. Anywho, here we go. Mm-hmm. How long is too long when it comes to being engaged?
Okay, so once you're ready to ask, I feel like you can be ready to ask before you're ready to pay for the wedding. Okay, that's if you want the big grand mm-hmm. one. Just because you get engaged doesn't mean you got to do the great big party. You can get married at the courthouse, do a reception later. Mm-hmm. If you're going to insist on doing it all at one time, the whole big thing, any more than at the most, I think 4 or 5 starts to look like, what are you doing? Like, what are y'all doing? I think anytime after that, it starts to look like y'all are just going to stay engaged forever. Like, y'all didn't want to get married.
My thing is this. There's people who have a bunch of standards around what marriage looks like, what engagement looks like. Mm-hmm. Can I afford it? And mostly on the man part about the, you know, being able to afford it and stuff like that. And then you got some women who have in their mind what they want all this stuff to be like, look like, whatever. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, cool. Most of us have ideas.
But if we're going off of traditional values, usually the man is proposing to the woman. I'm gonna key y'all into something. Most men know within 6 months to a year whether or not they want to marry you. Yeah. Hence, anything after the 2 years to me is too long. If you've been with that man for more than 2 years, it's too long. Because at the end of the day, like, you sit up here talking about a ring and this and that and the third. If you really know that woman and that woman is really for you and she's gonna, no matter what you have in your pocket at that time, if you ask that woman to marry you, even if you want to get her a better ring moving forward or whatever, an upgrade and all that other type of stuff, most women would say yes. Majority.
Yeah, if y'all are really the thing, the meant to be's.
The problem is y'all dudes just be dragging women along. Like I'm telling you, dragging them along, using them up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Cause like even like yes, Diddy did some Diddy. Like we know what's going on with that situation. Mm-hmm. Think about this: him and Casey was together for 10 years. Mm-hmm. He robbed that girl of a majority of her youth. Luckily, you know, it's a blessing. She found a man. They now working on will be having their third child at a point soon. Been married, you know, for the last 5, 6, I don't know, whatever year she broke up with Diddy. Like at the end of the day, 10 years, like that's crazy. But coming to look at her situation though, and what she was actually physically going through in the relationship, right. It makes sense why she stayed with that man for that long. It was abuse. Going on, if y'all don't know, y'all can look up the Diddy situation with Casey. Y'all can look that up on your own. Anyway, but you got to also look at it like this. How many years do y'all really have? Like people always think they got some long, elaborate time life here on this earth. So put it to you this way. You might not be Christian out there, but listen to this. Unless God is literally giving you a message to wait, for whatever reason, it's on his timing, right? Even God has a timeline. Like he has a timeline that he had put aside for that woman and that man to go ahead and get married. Mm-hmm. Y'all dragging y'all, and the crazy part is y'all get these women and drag them along in these relationships just to string them along. Look, knowing damn well y'all don't want them. But I blame some of those women because like we making the standards and these standards is slipping.
Like I think they're just becoming too materialistic.
They just loose. They're just becoming looser and looser. No, the problem is the current generation think they know everything. They want to assume, and on top of that, they're like, "Oh well, men are like this anyway, so I'm gonna just go ahead and accept it." All men are not like that.
They're not.
Y'all are teaching these men how to get y'all.
Yeah.
And don't realize it. Once y'all open that door, it's gonna be hard to close it back. Because it's always going to be one woman that's like, well, they're going to do it anyway. Hence the side chick.
Yeah, that's not a reason or justification to put up with being treated like shit. Because not every single one of them is going to do that. No.
Stop thinking all men are the same exact way.
Yeah, they're not.
Now their minds might be programmed for reproduction and sex a specific type way.
Instincts are basic instincts. You can't. It's what they do with the higher thought processes that separate them.
Exactly. All right. Mm-hmm. So moving on. Have you heard of the Zapito or Zepto app? It doesn't. I heard it pronounced 2 different ways today.
No. What's this one?
So apparently this is the app that you do not want your child to download.
What's it now?
It's the one where it's like literal predators like sitting on the app. It's 30 and 40-year-olds on there, and they're advertising it to like preteens or whatever.
Of course they are.
And apparently there's like messages, like hidden messages and everything on there, and they can say and do whatever they want, you know. And there's like no restrictions on like sending locations, addresses, whatever. And they're advertising it to like young children. And this lady kind of like caught her child on there having a conversation with an adult, and it was very much inappropriate. The whole thing. So they pretty much saying like, we find this app on your child's phone, delete it.
Delete, take the whole damn thing.
Well, yes, take the phone, but
the whole thing.
Immediately just delete the damn app. Weird, because I'm like, yet we have another app where adults are taking advantage of children.
Yeah, and it's the parents who don't monitor their kids that frustrate me, because there are a lot of parents who just do not care what their child is doing online.
No.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, not at all.
No.
At the end of the day, just watch what apps your children are downloading. Because like my thing is as a parent, you paying that phone bill, there's no such thing as this is my space, this is personal space. Nah, that's our phone.
Right.
This is our phone. At the end of the day, whatever is downloaded to that phone is mine.
Yeah.
It's ours.
There are some children that are trustworthy. There are some teenagers that are trustworthy, but the majority of them are sneaky. It's just the way. That's just the way.
At a point, they're gonna get into some dumb shit.
Yeah. Every single one of us made some type of stupid decision, right? It doesn't matter what age we were. It could have been our early 20s, mid to late.
No, but having like even back in the day, like chat rooms, like it could potentially be adults in them chat rooms.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times, like a lot of the chat rooms, you can actually put your age on there. So if you was 13, like it showed that you were 13. So imagine a predator looking at that, like
and lying about it,
and lying about their age. Like, come on.
The minute that technology and computers became a thing, this has been something that parents and police and all that have had to deal with. But you have to monitor what your child is doing, and that is only your responsibility.
Oh, absolutely. All right, next. What man did I say what man? Did you see the white man that stood up for his black woman, his wife? It's viral too. It's a viral video.
I was gonna say I don't think so. If you start to tell and I have seen it, I'll remember. But right now it's not jumping up at me.
So essentially it's him doing like a oh my gosh. He's doing a stitch or whatever.
Okay.
So it was on TikTok and it made it over to Instagram. So like he's doing a stitch. Some guy had like commented on his video that it was like a picture of him and his wife. They were like on a boat or whatever out in the middle of like the water. Maybe a kayak, canoe, whatever. I don't know.
All right.
So they're out in the water and like some white guy felt the need to comment on his video basically saying like there's no way that I could ever date a black woman. Like, that's crazy. Like, I date any woman but a black woman. Like, you couldn't find no white women out here nowhere. Yada, yada. He's just going off. So the white dude kind of like stitched it. He was like, this is the type of stuff that I got to deal with so that y'all see. He said, so he pretty much like went to bat for his black woman.
As he should.
He was like, I don't play about my wife. Like, at the end of the day, she is black. She's the most beautiful thing on this planet. Like, at the end of the day, like, because you're not comfortable with you, I don't like. He was like ripping the white dude to shreds. But if you haven't seen the video, that's crazy because like,
I don't know.
He was tearing this dude up.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have to go.
He called the dude unseasoned. It was all types of stuff going on.
I started following when the Black Wife Effect trend took off. I started following some of those couples. Mm-hmm. So if it's one of them, I haven't seen it yet, but it could be one of them because there's one dude I'm thinking of. He's constantly getting on people for talking shit about his wife, but that particular one I haven't seen yet. I'm sure it'll.
The reason why I brought it up though is because I'm like borderline, like on the line about how I feel about this.
Okay.
Because of course the black women, yes, like that's how you treat your wife. Da 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 da. You have some of them, not all, some. Mm-hmm. That's why y'all need to date outside y'all race and try other things out because these men be treating us better. Black men don't know how to treat their queens, don't know how to defend us, don't know how to do this, da 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 da. Now that could be right for some of the black men that we run into, but you cannot put that on all black men because I see some black men out here that's actually riding for their women. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some of them damaged, and there's quite a bit of them. Yeah. Damaged as hell.
Absolutely.
But I would never put that on the whole race of men. Like, that's crazy.
You can't. That's your experience that has made you feel that way, and how you feel is valid. But you can't project that onto every single person.
No, you can't. I just didn't understand it.
Your experience, absolutely valid. You can't put that on everybody else. That's not right.
No, you can't. I was just like, can you just praise him for defending his wife? And absolutely. Yes, she happened to be black. So I'm here for that. Like, he defended her against a racist prick. Cool. Yeah. Got it. At the end of the day, don't say that your black man won't. Now, if you choose to mess with one of them damaged, bitter black men, then that's on you. At the end of the day, once again, what did you not notice? Those red flags. Anyway, moving along. What does a provider man actually look like? Because this is a whole nother like realm. And I feel like people always have a hard time breaking it down. Because you're going to have men saying one thing, you're going to have women saying one thing, you're going to have some that meet in the middle. Like, you're going to have some on the same page. Like, what do you think it is?
Oh, I don't know. Because there's like the traditional definition. And then there's like what we've turned it into in this day.
No, I would go with the traditional. Because the problem is people want to mold and change and revamp. No, a provider man is typically whatever the origination of that definition was. So what is it? The origin.
Well, I mean, at its core, he's providing the food, the shelter, the basic, very basic needs, and you are the nurturer. You're doing the nurturing while he does the physical labor of the providing. At its basic, like very most basic.
At the basic, yes. Yeah. The problem that I feel like in this current day society is because we have working women, these men have gotten to a point. See, I'm not going to go on this one topic because it's one of my last topics, but I'm gonna get on this.
Okay.
Sometimes in this current society, we look at women as being men's equals just because they work. And the men are even starting to get this notion to a certain extent, which is all the way the wrong way to look. They're like, yeah, you guys wanted to be equal. I'm like, that's not what the women's rights movement was about. No. And y'all flipped, turned, tossed it. And then the new feminists made it even worse because they pretty much just want to be men, for real, if you want to be honest. How they pushing stuff is just like, yo, like you're not them. Like there's a reason why gender roles exist for certain things. And sis, you not helping. No. Because at the end of the day, if that man is providing, more than likely, most women gonna fall back into their femininity. They're gonna take care of the house. They're gonna make sure everything's straight. You got any questions? Or, she gonna answer whatever you got. You come home with some goofy stuff. Her brain is pretty much not clouded. She's relaxed. She gonna give you a decent response if you want one. Because sometimes men just come home and just want to talk, don't really want to answer, and that's all. That's fine. But that also comes with you giving her time to be able to relax and chill the hell out. Because yes, dealing with the kids, that is, a task at hand, especially when they're young. But as they progress and get older, like women wasn't just made to just be in the house and chilling. We were put here to help you guys make decisions if necessary, and be able to raise the kids in a way that pushes them forward and has them progress in life, but also to help the man, because like men also look at that you got to be submissive to me in the wrong context,
and you always forget
because that submissive is not what y'all think it is.
The second part is not just we submit to you, you also
have to submit. And then the crazy part is
ignore that part though.
But my thing is this, like, if you're a Christian, then they're supposed to be submitting to Christ, but also loving you like the Lord loved the church. So at the end of the day, it's just like people take stuff out of context all the time because they want to bend the rules to make it fit where they are.
And they just want to ignore the part that doesn't benefit what they're trying to do at the moment.
No.
Right.
All right. So. Oh, Lord. Now we about to get off these little relationship-y topics for a split second here.
Okay.
All right. Do you think the NBA is going to copy the 1-versus-1 tournament from Unravel?
Yeah, because they can't have shit.
Hold up. Not just that. Let me explain. I'm gonna give you the full go-round of why they're trying to copy it, though. Because you got to understand full course on why they're trying to do this. So overall, the NBA ratings are completely like down this year. They've been going trending in the wrong direction, but like now they're really trending in the wrong direction, right? NBA All-Star Weekend was tanked. It was just terrible. They tried to like revamp it with like that random 4-team play for however long. It was 5v5, but it was like an hour longer play. It was almost like they tried to copy Unravel, but do it like a 5-versus-5, except for that fourth quarter wasn't untimed. Like it was just giving real weird. Right. And then like I get it, like you had Shaq that had like the old heads of the league, like the vets or whatever, which is cool. Like the vets clearly won. But anyway, that shows you the state of the NBA right now. Because like the vets is like almost 40, if not 40. Like LeBron didn't really play, but like you had KD, Kyrie, and like them dudes are 35 plus, and they just got in there and beat them. But the reason why the All-Star weekend has now been proclaimed as trash, they pay them dudes all that money to go, like, to do whatever, right? For the season, they don't really make too much money off of All-Star weekend. We're gonna go with too much because it's the NBA. Anyway, but they have not been playing defense historically like in any of these NBA All-Star games. They don't want to get hurt because behind All-Star weekend, a couple weeks or so later, is the playoffs is gonna start. So they gotta be healthy.
I wouldn't want to get hurt either.
You get what I'm saying? So they just out there and they thought, I guess, with this tournament that they had going on or whatever with these games, that they were gonna show up and play defense. Yeah, they did not.
Yeah, no.
Not at all did they show up and play any type of defense. Not really. Ant-Man set out. So with that being said, now Unravel launches, we're gonna do a 1v1. And not only are we gonna do a 1v1, we're gonna give out prizes, cash prizes. So whoever wins the 1v1 get, I believe it was like $250K. Then their team, they got to give them $100K each, including the coach.
Jeez.
So at the end of the day, yes, whoever won their team, that's what they got, right? Jeez. I'm telling y'all what I know. The women's game is about to start going this way. The men's game is going to continuously go this way. This is why, in hindsight, the NBA is probably going to take it because the NBA been giving the WNBA. If you know anything about how like the leagues work, because the NBA owns the WNBA, and essentially that's how like the WNBA was surviving for all these years, you know, which is fine. Now they're going to try to take the 1v1 tournament. The problem that I have with this is, I guarantee you, the stars that you want to see in 1v1, they're not going to get out there and risk potentially getting injured or getting embarrassed playing 1v1. The women just don't care. Like, they like, all right, it's a 1v1 tournament. Whatever. It was lit. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. They're probably going. Yeah. They're probably going to. I'd be willing to bet they're definitely.
I feel like they're definitely going to try it.
Oh yeah. Is it gonna?
The problem is, who's going to be cocky enough to actually get in a 1v1?
Right.
Because another thing is about 1v1, that is a tiring game to play. Just two people. And they had like extremely, like, the rules were like set strict. They stuff that got to be established for they even get on the court. You know what I'm saying? So right. I don't know. And then for the 1v1 for the women, bro, they had bigs playing guards. And like the average guard in the WNBA, like point guard, is probably about like 5'7", 5'8". You know what I'm saying? And they playing somebody 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". That's wild. All right. Crazy. Anyway, moving along. Asking a woman what she brings to the table is diabolical, and it's feminine as F. Okay. That's period. Red Pill got these goofy ass men out here ruining great relationships. Because what's happening is they're starting to get brainwashed. They're susceptible to bad content, is what it is. These men, for the most part, they get on there and they wham. Oh, woe is me. Women was doing this. And then what happens is the guy that couldn't make his relationship work, or he can't get the women, or whatever the case may be, he's sitting at home on his couch. He's sitting there believing this fucking bullshit that they preaching. Oh, you know what? That sounds great. They just want somebody to relate to how they was feeling because they got hurt. Yeah. And that's essentially what happened to the Red Pill dudes anyway. Some woman dogged the dog shit out of them. And now it's war on all fucking women. You guys are, who is you guys? If I looped all men together and call all y'all dogs, trash, poor representation of what human beings should be, like, you know what I'm saying? And when I went on a whole tangent, like, you'd be pissed the hell off. Oh, yeah. But y'all want to put all women in the category of they got to be like this. Red Pill, what it essentially is really giving men an excuse to try to elevate their lives financially and become polygamous. That's all that shit is, for real. Cause like they'll have wives and like preach about running around their wives and having this and having that or whatever. My thing is this: you want to be a polygamist? Cool. Find some stupid ass woman that want to be your wife and be a polygamist.
Right. Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah. Y'all want women that y'all can walk over top of. Yeah. Any dude that's listening to Red Pill talk. First of all, Red Pill at all, if you ask any woman out here what she bring to the table, like I've seen women being like my dude did break up with me, talking about what I bring to the table. Meanwhile, the woman helped you get off the floor.
Exactly.
At your place. Right. You would sleep on the damn air mattress. And she didn't help you out, but all of a sudden, what she bring to the table, apparently getting you off your ass and then helping you to get on a path for success. Where you wasn't originally there.
Yep.
At the end of the day, asking a woman what she brings to the table is the most feminine shit you could ever do.
We're not here
it is so feminine, it's not even funny.
Here to be your mother. So
what you bring to the table. Yo, that is shit crazy.
Yeah, that's no, don't ask.
No, but they all try to use the same excuse. Man, I talked to this old man. With this older man, he got divorced and he was telling me don't ever get married, son. The sad part is y'all so dumb that y'all don't even realize that, yo, dummy, what the hell did he do wrong in the marriage as well? Because it wasn't all just on her. He gonna tell you his version of it while y'all sitting in the break room at work, whatever it is that y'all doing. He's sitting there, man, don't you ever do this. And y'all just, and then the crazy part is y'all know how bad y'all lie as men, and then y'all will still sit up there and listen to another man that's lying through his damn teeth. Like that killed me. Yeah. Man been lying to you all in your face. Yeah. Man, she just did me so, knowing damn well he done cheated on Barbara fucking 50 times. He got kids down the street, across the city, on his damn wife. And she kept taking him back, trying to make it work, and he just couldn't get his little shit together.
Yeah, the part where she did you wrong was she got fed up with your shit.
Hello.
And she said, "I'm done with you."
That's how that worked.
So she did you wrong. Okay. Cry me a river. Okay.
All right. Well, anywho, y'all let us know in the comments how you guys feel about some of these topics. Any red flags that you might have out there that we missed, because we probably did.
There's probably about 1 million that we missed.
A bunch of them. Yeah. And definitely give us a thumbs up if you tired of them red pill dudes. Yeah. They are fucking ridiculous. They ruining people's relationships. They don't even realize it. And whole families.
We are begging you.
Got men leaving whole fucking wives with children and shit. Like, no. Stop listening to them dummies. Anyway, like, comment,
share,
subscribe,
come back and see us.
Hit that notification bell. We see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.